had to ring a bell, have to work. Now it gets hot again. Okay, so if you work these, when you do your Chan, you develop Chan skills, they really are skills that are very useful to you. For example, when it gets this hot, you bear it for a while, and then eventually you enter samadhi and you rise above it and it doesn't bother you anymore. Or if your skills are more advanced, then you can simply enter samadhi very quickly and not be bothered by all that. Okay, so actually Chan has very practical skills. In fact, what I want to tell you about is recently I decided to pay more attention to my illnesses, because the last couple of years has been the case where they would come and attack me periodically. So I decided to attack them before they attack me. So my point is that when you practice Chan, you naturally heal yourself. Okay, as we were practicing today, Sarah there, who is translating into Korean for us, after around 35, 40 minutes, she started coughing like crazy. Yes? And what happened, Sarah? Did you know?
Yes, Master, I noticed.
And what happened?
Everything was okay, but after 35 minutes, something in my throat, I could feel something is there. And then it bothered me, and then I could not, I just started to cough. And
You started coughing?
Yes.
Okay. What Sarah has is she recently got the COVID, probably the subvariant 5, probably, okay? In Los Angeles, it's the rage right now. It's fashionable to get COVID-5. You're supposed to, okay? So she got a COVID-5 and she's been complaining about coughing. She can't seem to shake off the cough. It's one of the long COVID symptoms. I had it some times ago as well. You recover very quickly, but you still cough, okay? That's what happened to Sarah, right? She's coughing. So I'm bringing her up because to demonstrate a point. When you meditate, okay, after a while, once you get going and enter samadhi, then you start naturally healing yourself, like it or not. Okay, it's automatic. So what happened is that she, about half an hour after we started, she started to gain momentum and started healing her own coughing problems. So my point here, another point, a related point here is that when you meditate and you have all these symptoms of illnesses, it's actually a good sign. Don't be worried, because it shows that you actually are healing yourself. Something is wrong physically or mentally, okay? And it bothers you, that means it's being addressed. Is that clear? So actually, those are positive signs for you to sort of act as encouragement for yourself to know that you actually are healing yourself before the doctors find out what's wrong with you, okay? And so Chan meditation to me is a fundamental to your daily life. You meditate every day, you're healing yourself every day, okay? Master, old monk here, he's here today. He saw the people around him about a few weeks ago, last month, were getting sick left and right. So he says, I don't want to be sick. You know, I live too close to these people. And then people come to my temple, and I don't want to give them the COVID-19. So he would meditate every day just to keep the COVID at bay. And everyone around him had been sick, but no one, but not him. He's been like as steady, as strong, as rock. Okay, so that's what happens. These are the fundamental things that you can do for yourself when you practice Chan. In a long haul, you will do, as your skills get better, you will be able to heal yourself. So, for example, for the COVID thing here in our temples, wherever in Korea or Los Angeles or Northern California, whenever someone asks us for help, I simply direct my disciples to take care of it, because I don't even bother anymore. Okay, meaning when you reach a certain level, you'll be taught how to heal yourself. Okay, and when you get even more advanced, you'll be able to heal others yourself, because then healing others becomes part of your training. When you are not at that level yet, we advise you not to heal others, because you cannot handle the consequences of healing others. Okay? When you heal others, you have to get sick yourself, bottom line. And unless you can heal yourself, you will not be able to handle it. Okay? So it's rather foolish of you to try to heal others when you cannot heal yourself. Is that clear? So one step at a time. Okay, be patient. It takes time to build up the skills. All right, we have a few questions today. Let's start with Chen Chen. Hello. Okay. Okay, very good. It is said that Shakyamuni Buddha, after he passed away, they cremated his body and they had like 84,000 different relics. Master YongHua, my Chinese teacher, after he passed, they cremated his body. I was there. Okay, it was a long, long time. The bones took forever to take care of. Okay, like over 10 hours. And at the end, he got about several thousand relics. Okay, it was very, very impressive. Relics, when you look at the low level, like Master YongHua, he's not low, but compared to the Buddha, he's pretty low. From him to get to Buddhahood, it's quite a long road. Okay, so anyway, so for him to generate several thousand relics like that, it took him a lifetime to do that. Okay, the relics are the crystallization of his virtuous deeds, meaning that whatever good things he did that is significant, that requires, at his level, by the way, not at your level, okay? At his level, for something significant, meaning he had to do more than he's usually capable of doing, okay? And when that happens, he creates something called relics, okay? That when he will materialize when he passes, when he dies. That's what happens. After he died, we cremated, and those relics manifested themselves. And also, the second aspect of it is that he chose to manifest them like that, to teach us something. His lower-level disciples, there's some Chinese disciples who, at the first stage Arhat level, second stage Arhat level, who died early because they didn't take care of themselves. Okay, they neglected their health, and they died as a monk at Master YongHua's temples, which is a big mistake, meaning that the abbot should have paid attention to them. Okay, they're not supposed to die that so young. But anyway, they died, and they also had some relics themselves, meaning that at their level, they created some virtuous deeds That's why the relics came out. All right? So those are some of the reasons why you have relics. Buddhas are quite different. Buddha relics have many, many reasons. Number one, Buddhas originally wanted to leave relics to help his disciples and future disciples develop faith. Okay? It's helpful to his disciples. For example, I was in big trouble early in my career, teaching career. People slandered me and said I was a bad monk and all those things. And then people left the temple. No one came and made offerings. So we basically were in big trouble financially. Okay? And I was waiting for the temple to clear out. My disciples all leave so that I can go to the mountain. Okay? But it didn't happen. My disciples would not leave. They're sort of like leeches, you know. As long as still blood, they will not let go, unfortunately. So anyway, so we were in trouble. So I look at that and I said, at the rate we're going, based on a lot of precedents, because it happens in our world for monks and nuns. It's not uncommon for monks and nuns to go through these types of tests for their resolve. Are they there for themselves? Are they there for higher goals, higher purposes? And so it's not uncommon for monks and nuns to run into that kind of trouble, and it would take them normally about 10 years plus to recover. Okay? Typically, they have to run away, hide somewhere, so that people can forget about them and they build momentum again. Okay, so in my case, I didn't feel like I would run. I needed to run away because I was lazy. If I run away, it has to be under my own terms, not because I had to. And so I figured it would take me about 10 years to recover, historically speaking. But 3 years later, the Buddha's relics came. And because of that, I recovered immediately. People saw that the relics are known, Buddha's relics are known for the fact that if you're a bad monk, they will not stay with you, period. Okay, they disappear. They walk up by themselves in masses. Okay, and so the Buddhist disciples at the temple realized that, and they started coming back. They said they believe what I said. I said none of those rumors is true. So anyway, so you see the point being that the relics from the Buddhas are designed to increase our faith, primarily. Okay, so the Buddha decided to leave around 84,000, meaning that countless relics that he would distribute to his disciples and go and build stupas all over India and so forth, according to King Ashoka's plans, vision. He sent monks around India and to build stupas and would hide one relic inside each stupa. So they built about 84,000 stupas. That's how they spread Buddhism back then, okay, under the patronage of King Ashoka. And so the Buddha's relics, that's how it happened in India originally. But as Buddhism went to China, the Mahayana, Chinese Mahayana people never took relics seriously at all, because that's not how they felt was necessary to develop faith. They have the Bodhidharma, Great Master Bodhidharma. They have a lot of great bodhisattvas coming to China to help develop faith and train people. What's a better way to develop faith in your followers? By teaching them, by training them, so that they become better and they can do things for themselves. That's the best way to develop faith. The first way to use relics is for the people who are weak, who cannot have the technology, the skills, the blessings to receive training. Okay? So anyway, in Chinese Mahayana, they never took relics seriously. And I'm from that persuasion, so I never took relics seriously until I got in trouble. Okay, and that's how relics came to our temple, because Buddhas could not wait for me to recover. It took 10 years and take my time, because I'm in no hurry, I'm no hurry to do anything. You have to push me, okay? So Buddhas know that, so the Buddhas came and brought the relics, and we have, it started with 10,000 relics. That's what we call our collection, 10,000 relics, but actually many more appeared, okay? We have about over 1 million relics, okay? And so those relics just came, they just multiply by themselves, okay? Now, that, of course, that's from the virtues of the Buddhas. Those are Buddha's relics, okay? And also has to do with the guardians of the relics, meaning that we've been giving some relics recently from the people who are very proud, who went to Thailand, offer a lot of money, like millions of dollars, to the monks, Thai monks. Therefore, were given a lot of special relics, very rare relics. And they give it to us recently, because I heard the old monk is doing a relic exhibit very soon, in 3 weeks in San Francisco. Okay, so they gave him some relics, but they wanted to contribute to his relics exhibit. And I look at relics, I said, wow, these maybe are special to them, to the Thai, but to me, they're sort of like, I know money, I don't have enough money to buy or make a donation to the temple, so those, but now I had those, I'm not impressed, So I declare for the old monk, give it some time. These relics eventually will become very powerful once they are under the guardianship of our temples. So you find out that invariably in the past, historically the last several years or so, when relics came to our temple, they're actually unimpressive, and they stay here. The longer they stay here, the stronger the force field they emit became. And so you find out, when you go to relic exhibit yourself, you sit next to relics, you're able to concentrate better and so forth. And that's naturally the function of the strength of the relics, the magnetic field, or the spiritual strength of the relics. So those are pretty sacred themselves. But you ask me, it's you're right there. You have 1 million miracles. Okay, so I don't know why we don't have 1 million stupas, 1 million temples. You see, it's called a Dharma ending age, because back then you only have to show one such miracles. The king and the queen will build a temple for you. Okay, so those are the things behind the relics. The relics to me are actually a great reminder for all of us that we need to include people who cannot cultivate, because I am lazy. I'm very fundamental. I don't know why I'm so lazy, but I'm lazy. And I have no excuse for it. I'm actually ashamed of it. I'm just too lazy. Okay? It's like pulling teeth. For me to do something, you have to really convince me. Otherwise, I won't do it. So these relics are the Buddhas reminding me that not just Shakyamuni Buddha, but the Bodhisattvas, we have relics of them. We have relics of the Arhats, have relics of the older Buddhas. For example, Randengpo, the burning lamp Buddha, or Kashyapa Buddhas, and so forth. So I take it as a signal from them as I shouldn't be too lazy. And I should include more people who cannot cultivate. So that's why the relics exhibit is an important thing for us. We're very honored, very pleased that the old monk is still healthy and he's taking charge of relics collection. I'm very grateful for all of you to pitch in and help out in in your own ways. And so that's why the relics. Did I answer your question? That's a long. Okay, so miraculously, the Buddha's relics appear because of the will of the Buddha. Okay, originally. Okay, and now in our case here in the Dharma Ending Age, I begin to understand the relics appear because of the virtuous deeds, number one. Number two, also because of the need for you to have more to help develop your faith faster. Because remember, I'm lazy. I'm not interested in developing your faith. Okay, so Buddhas are forcing our hands. They make us have all these relics, and I keep on praying, please, someone come and take them off my hands. I'm a Mahayana monk. I don't do relics, and I'm lazy. I have all the reason in the world not to be involved in this, and yet they keep on coming and coming and multiplying. And therefore, I begin to understand that the message is very clear for us. We all have to work together to help those who need to see the relics to develop their faith. It's something miraculous. Something is beyond our imagination, our comprehension is possible. It's not uncommon. You listen to relics, and the master, old abbot of the Dharma Treasury Temple in San Francisco, he'll tell you, relics appear from nowhere, out of thin air, in front of all kinds of people, not just us, strangers. Okay, and there are plenty of people who saw those things. You see, those really, really are miracles. Trust me, it's incredible. Okay. And so that's should help those of you who got such experiences and really are open and minded enough to see it yourself. And it turns out a lot of our followers have relics appear in their homes when they try to help or they resolve to do things to help out in a Dharma propagation. So it's also one form of encouragement for all of you. It's not uncommon, like people trying to help with translation, help this and help that, and they find relics in their homes. Okay? That's an encouragement for them. Master Omak, am I leaving out anything? Anything else would you like to say? And they're coming too, so you better prepare the speech to explain to them what relics are. So I know.
Tôi bắt đầu biết về Xá Lợi là năm 2007 đó, thầy tôi Việt Nam chết đó. Thì mấy thầy ở bên đó lựa một số thôi, còn đa phần là Ấn Độ với biển. Thì đích thân tôi về tôi lựa lại đó gần một chén ăn cơm á. Nó nằm trong những cái tro cốt của cái người chết, rồi mình đập ra thì nó mới thấy được. Rồi sau đó tôi 2003 đó, người Tây Tạng triển lãm tại Sacramento đó. Thì tôi ngồi thiền không có được, rất là ở nhà ngồi rất là đau. Mà tôi nghĩ làm lạ, ngồi kế cái tủ display đó, không đau mà người mình rất an lạc. Từ đó tôi bắt đầu chú ý về Xá Lợi và tôi xin mấy cái flyer đó về, tôi đã muốn khung tôi thờ. Thì những điều mầu nhiệm xảy ra liên tục cho tới giờ này. Rồi Xá Lợi đến đó thôi. Khả dịch.
Emitofuo, I started to know about the relics is in 2007. My master in Vietnam passed away, and a lot of his disciple monk did not collect it properly. Some of the relics was thrown to the ocean. But importantly, the relics is found inside of the ashes after cremations. So then in 2009, no, I'm sorry, I missed the date.
2003.
2003, I was able to sat next to the relics case, and I did not feel the pain in the meditation. From then, I started to have a mind of binding the case and started to collect the relics.
Thì bằng chứng là bây giờ cách thơm cái thiền thất mùa đông năm rồi đây nè, tại cái chùa này nè. Thì cái cô người Mễ đạo Thiên Chúa mà mới biết thầy chừng khoảng 1 năm 2 năm nay thôi. Thì mùa đông rất là lạnh, thì ai nấy đi hết trơn, có một mình cô ở ngồi trên chánh điện này. Thì cổ khoe với tôi là cổ đang đọc chế đại bi, thì cổ nghe bên lỗ tai nói là mày đi xuống cái phòng ngủ mày lượm xá lợi đi. Thì cổ xuống, cổ khoe với tôi là cổ xuống, thì cái phòng rất là nhiều rộng mà để đủ thứ mà mền mùng là mỏng ngổn ngang. Thì cô nghe nói bên lỗ tai mày nhòm xuống bên trái chỗ cái máy hắt bụi kìa. Thì có lượm được một ngôi. Cứ như vậy mà hết cái mùa thiền thất, cổ nhịn 9 ngày thì cổ lượm được 9 ngôi. Người phụ nữ này khoảng chừng 40 tuổi thôi. Thì ở đâu ra? Và cổ ngồi rất là an ổn, cổ qua được 9 ngày mà cổ fasting đó.
So also there is a proof as well is the chanty, the past chanty, winter chanty. There was an American lady sat during the chanty, and she told me that during her recitation of Great Compassion mantra, somebody told her through her ear that you gotta go down and find the relics in your room. So she tried her best to look around, and each day, for 9 days, she found 9 relics.
Và sau đó thì cái nhóm của Phật tử Đại Hàn qua đây, rất là nhiều người lượm được, trong đó có cô Jimmy là lượm nhiều nhất. Thì cho cổ rồi á, thì sáng hôm sau nó nhân lên, nó tự nó nhân lên trong phòng cổ, giờ cổ khoe với tôi. Thì những người khác người ta biết về xá lợi á, ta biết cái cô này có căn lành và có phước thì người ta lại cho thêm. Cái cô này trẻ thôi, nhưng khoảng tôi nghĩ chắc chừng 30 mấy à. Mà lượm được rất là nhiều, từ bên Đại Hàn qua đây. Ở đâu ra?
Also, there's a lady from Korea came to our temple. Especially her name is Yumi. She's the person that received the most relics. She started to collect it, and then people give it to her more and more. And so we wanted to ask, so where the relics really come from?
Một cô nữa cũng trung niên rồi. Tôi cho cũng mấy ngôi, mà trong đó có một ngôi xá lợi con của con mắt Phật rất là đẹp. Thì mấy ngày sau tôi ngồi cái bàn 4 người, tôi với cô Sarah với cô Heidi ở bên tiểu bang Chicago qua, 4 người ngồi cái bàn ăn ở dưới phòng dưới đó. Thì cô đem ra thì tôi thấy cô mất một viên, thì tôi cho tôi biết. Thì cô nói cô không biết. Thì tôi kiếm xung quanh, chưa có mở cái bọc ra, 3-4 người kiếm xung quanh không thấy. Thì khoảng 5 phút sau thình lình hiện trên bàn trước mặt mọi người cái ngôi mà cổ mất đó. Cũng như hát xiệt vậy đó, ở đâu cái ngôi nó mất mà đâu trở lại. Cái cô đó tại tôi cho là tôi thấy làm công quả rất là nhiệt thành. Từ bên xứ Đại Hàn qua đây mà làm bỏ công ngày đêm mà nấu cái ăn rồi giúp đủ thứ chuyện tôi cho. Thì hiện là trước mặt mọi người như vậy đó. Tôi với cô Sarah với cô Heidi với cô đó là 4 người. Mất rồi và hiện trước mặt, hiện trên cái mặt bàn ăn.
Also, one more example is the middle-aged lady. She came from Korea. She came to our temple. She has a good appearance for herself. So several days ago, I gave her 4 pieces of relics, and she lost 1 piece. Somehow we sat together, gathered in me, Sarah, Heidi, and that lady, and she lost 1 relic. She only had 3, and then we trying to find that around us ourselves, and somehow the relics appear right away. I gave it to her because of her cultivation, sincere in the cultivation. So the relics appear right in front of everybody.
Rồi tôi chú ý đến xá lợi là tại vì thứ nhất là mình gần xá lợi đó, mình ngồi thiền mình tu rất là dễ, nó không có đau và mình rất là an lạc. Thứ hai là trong kinh nói á, cái người mà gặp xá lợi đó cũng như gặp Đức Phật á, lý do đó mà Ngài để lại cho mình để mình hưởng. Ngài chết rồi, Ngài tịch rồi, Ngài để lại thì trong kinh nói là cái xá lợi Phật Thích Ca nó sẽ tồn tại trên thế gian này 5.000 năm. Bây giờ là 2.600 mấy chục năm rồi, còn có ít hơn phân nữa. Thì Đức Phật để lại ngụ ý là để mà cái ruộng phước, để cho ai thấy, ai có, giúp cho cái cá nhân đó tu học, cho cái cộng đồng đó, cái chùa đó, cái nhóm đó tu học. Tại vì người nào, chúng sanh nào thấy xá lợi cũng như thấy Đức Phật, phước báo vô lượng vô biên, giúp cho chúng sanh đó tu. Và một cái bằng chứng nữa rất là nhiều tôi gặp là những người mà không giữ giới hoặc làm cái gì sai trái đó, tự động xá lợi đi mất. Không cần quý vị dặn cái tháp chặt cỡ nào, cái hộp chặt cỡ nào biến mất. Mà nếu quý vị hối hận tu đàng hoàng thì trở lại. Tôi thấy rất nhiều ở tiểu bang Cali này.
Also, in the sutra, it is said that seeing the two things that I wanted to stress out. First, when you meditate around the presence of the relics, there is a peaceful appearance around you and it helps ease out the pain. Second point is in the sutra, it is said, seeing the Buddha relics is like seeing the Buddha himself. And also the sutra press one point that the relics only exist for 5,000 years. Now it is halfway through already. Relics helps the community, help the people cultivate together. And because relics itself has tremendous blessings and virtues. And for example, I know that the people who doesn't keep precepts and break precepts and do bad things, the relics disappear. Even though you try your best to tighten seal the stupa, the relics still disappear. Only when it appear back when you started to create merit and virtue and do good deeds.
Dạ thưa, ngày nay tôi nói chuyện với bên Việt Nam thì tôi cũng biết một trong những đệ tử của thầy tôi ở Việt Nam là đệ tử của Hòa Thượng Quảng Đức mà cái ngày Tự Thiêu đó. Thì giờ mấy vị tăng trẻ đó, có một số vị đó ăn cắp cái xá lợi của thầy tôi. Làm cái chuyện như buôn bán đó. Thì bây giờ bệnh rất là nặng. Cái quả báo ngay trước hiện đời này.
I know that one of the peers in the Venerable Thích Quảng Đức.
It's the burning monk.
The burning monks. So they sell the relics. They use the relics for their business, and bad thing comes to them.
Okay, that's enough. I think we have a lot of questions today. We have the exhibit in San Francisco coming up in about 3 weeks. Please come in, tune in, or whatever. I think they plan to have, if those of you who are able to make it, it'll be quite a good experience for you. Those of you who can, I understand that they plan to have a virtual tour, something like that, okay? So you have plenty of chances to see. It turns out our collection is pretty extensive. That's why we can share them among being in Southern California and Northern California and also Korea as well, okay? So we will have lots of locations for you to come and experience the wonders and miracles of the relics. All right, let's go to Kong, Jewel Kong. They have a question there.
Master, this question is from Hessun. She has a question about Ulambana.
Yes.
There was a mention about 7 parents 7 generation of parents versus 7 generation ancestor. Is there any difference?
No, they're not. Basically, for the Ulambana, on that day there, for that particular Dharma, you can benefit your current parents, okay? Meaning if they're still alive, then they get the benefits from your planting blessings during Ulambana. Ulambana blessings will go to them, okay? Will help them this lifetime. Live to be 100 years, be healthy and not lacking in necessities and so forth, okay? So it's very, very wonderful thing you can do for your parents, if they're still alive. And furthermore, the Ulambana blessings will go back to 7 generations of your parents, okay? Meaning the parents who, your ancestors who were directly in your lineage, in your family, they also get the benefits from the Ulambana blessings, okay? Meaning that if your parents are still alive, then the first generation would be the grandparent who gave birth to your parents. And then the next level, second level, would be the great-grandparents who gave birth to the grandparents, and so forth, going up 7 generations. That's how big it is. Okay? So this is a power of that particular Dharma invented by Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay? That's the Buddha's wisdom right there. What we do in Buddhism is to fundamentally benefit others. And in order to benefit others, and the first thing we learn to do is to benefit ourselves naturally, okay? And because it happens naturally, we stop worrying about it. In Mahayana, everything we do now is focused towards helping others, okay? Because we understand helping others is fundamentally helping ourselves. Is the best way to help ourselves is by helping others. That's why the people who practice Mahayana no longer worry about helping themselves. Okay? So these Mahayana Dharmas, then, we can simply are concentrated upon, focus upon helping others. However, in order to help others, we usually start first by helping those who are close to us. Okay? Our family, our parents, our ancestors. That's why. Okay? So the 7 generation ancestors are the same as the 7 prior parents of yours. Is that clear? And trust me, it really makes a huge difference for them. You don't know how much appreciated it is, your help. A lot more than people realize. The problem with them is that they need your help, but they cannot ask for it. They have no ways of asking you for help. And so the Buddha knows that. That's why he says, every year on such a date, 15th day of the 7th lunar month, we get together and benefit those people that need your help so badly, but they don't know how to ask for it. Okay? All right, next question.
광호 씨 얘기하시면 되겠어요.
Master, I'm sorry, this is a different subject, but it's related to the other questions that we asked previous week. It's about 42 hands and eyes. Where should we recite 42 hands and eyes? So question is about the locations. I like to talk about my wife. Eventually, she likes to recite 42 hands and eyes. So recently, what she does is when she drop up our children at their academy, and when there's no one, she goes to this location where the isolated staircases, and then she recite 42 hands and eyes and mantras repeated for 3 times. This location is not a public place. It's kind of isolated, but I was just concerned if this location is acceptable. And also, in my case, because my wife is starting to reciting 42 hands and eyes, that actually stimulated me. So I'm starting to. So at work, I'm starting to reciting, but I have to find a quiet location away from the people, which is the parking lot. And inside my car, I started to recite 42 hands and eyes and mantras. And another thing, when people around me or at work, I see people arguing or debating. In that case, I start to recite number 14 quietly and bring the harmony to these people. Is that acceptable? Thank you.
Okay. The 42 hands and eyes are really a treasure that Master YongHua brought to our times. Yeah. It's by design because he brought the 42 hands and eyes to help us. Okay, meaning when he was here, he used a lot of 42 hands and eyes in his work. So that is to teach us the fact that for people like me, like our Sangha, in order to do the work, they can use the 42 hands and eyes as well. In Buddhism, we teach by example. So he did it himself and he showed us how to do it. So that's what we're doing. So in our lineage, in our Weiyang lineage, we are authorized to transmit to you the 42 hands and eyes. So here in the US right now, there are 2 branches. One branch is Chinese branch, where under Master YongHua, and the other branch is American branch under me. Okay, so we have 2 branches where we practice the 42 hands and eyes. And you folks are very fortunate in that. Thank you. In that, I decided to transmit to all of you because I know many of you have been disciples of mine for quite a while, and you have a lot of blessings, and you're meant to help you in your spiritual practice. So when we transmit the 42 hands and eyes, this is what happens. We send Dharma protectors of the 42 hands and eyes to protect you so that you can practice. Without these practices, in particular, you recite mantras, you need some protection. Okay? So in the exception with the 42 hands and eyes, we send protectors, Dharma protectors to you so that you can practice. And therefore, it means that you can practice them anywhere. Okay? You have plenty of protection to practice them anywhere at all. Okay, so I would not worry. Whatever you can practice, what I recommend that you do is to practice them in out of sight so that we don't draw attention ourselves. In particular, another thing too is if you go away from temples and go away from your house, okay, and at your level, it's not quite there yet, but at more advanced levels, I would teach my disciples to hide the weapons so that they don't draw attention. What happens is that the weapons you're practicing, they emit light. So wherever you go, you draw attention. It actually is scary to the ghosts. And it draws attention from the yin world as well as the externalists. I used to go around, drive around and practice hands and eyes and I wasn't careful, so the externalists noticed the light and said they'll come over and try to look for it, okay? And so I were inadvertently drawing attention to myself, okay? That's not my intention at all. So that's why in our world, when you get a little bit higher level, then you want to, you can practice anywhere, but because you want to be low key, but also you want to put the weapons away so that they don't draw too much attention, okay? Okay, so what was it? Did I answer all the questions? So you don't realize what great blessing it is that you are able to receive transmission. It means that you have protection. Again, the Chinese have their own Dharma protectors. You're getting American Dharma protectors. They're not Chinese at all. So don't try to speak Chinese to them. They will not understand you. Okay? But you are very lucky that you have some protection. There are a lot of people who steal such information online. Okay? The online, some material is available online. And this is what happens. Most of the information online is inaccurate. So the mantras are off. Okay, and number one. Number two, they have no protection whatsoever. Number three, they don't have any support, meaning that they do it wrong, they will not be able to access me to help them, correct it for them. Okay, so you have tremendous blessings, so take advantage of it. And number four, once you have transmission, you practice it, you'll be able to use the skills when you get the higher levels of samadhis. You can make a difference for yourself and for others, okay? This is what we use, one of the primary tools we use to help others, the 42 hands and eyes, okay? And so you will be able to help yourself and help others. And we will continue to receive transmission in the future, okay, in the future lives. And this is incredible blessings that Master YongHua brought to our times, okay? Again, it's only two branches right now. Chinese branch from his temples, at his temples, an American branch at my temples. We are different, we're separate, okay? They have their Dharma protectors, we have our own. So practice them. All of you who have been given transmission should take advantage of it. It's incredible blessings, okay? All right, next, please.
Daniel.
Okay, yeah, tell your instructor, the class, that you express your interest in taking refuge, and they'll contact you next time there is an opportunity, okay? Okay, is that it? Okay, thank you. Okay, next. Okay, sorry, time is short, so that's why. Yes. 안녕하세요.
Master, I raise my hand to show the gratitude gratitude to you. I've been sitting in full lotus for a year and a half. And for the first time, I was able to sit without moving comfortably. And this is from Ipji.
Okay, very good. I'm very glad to hear it. It makes me very happy to hear that you are making progress. That's all I ask for. You make progress and you be happier. That's the main thing, okay? I'm very pleased. Continue to make progress. Let me warn you, all of you, okay? The way we train you is rather demanding. Therefore, don't be attached to being comfortable. You're supposed to struggle, yes, okay? So don't be too attached to the bliss. When you attach to bliss, you will not make progress. Very slow. The more you struggle, then the more often you continue to make progress. Okay, that's our style. The Chinese, the typical monks, they teach you and they brag about how wonderful it feels, how great it feels. For me, it's different. I want you to struggle because how I was trained. And that's how our students are trained, and that's why they progress so quickly. You would not believe it. I want you all to get up there to really find it so enjoyable, so much fun. So life is so wonderful, trust me. The more you improve, the more you like yourself, okay? And that's the main thing. You like yourself more. And you have to like yourself first before others like you more. Okay? And it gets better and better and better. It's so much fun for me. That's why it is so rewarding. That's why we're doing this. That's why all of my disciples and our people are pitching in because they experience it themselves and they want to say, oh, this is so wonderful. We like to share this with everyone, okay? It's real, okay? That's what you will experience yourself. And because we're making progress so fast, you will not believe how fast. I look at people now, I see first stage arhats everywhere, okay? It used to take several years before people get to that level. Now it's like so fast. It's because of everything is better than before. Plus, you guys are, as I like to say, very special. Okay? Work hard, okay? That's what it is. All right, there's a reason why you're making progress quickly. Go ahead, 2, and then we have to go.
Master, I think the question about the 42 hands and eyes, I'm not sure you answered the last question he asked. He used it to create harmony between a conflict or an argument in the office. So are we allowed to do that?
Don't do that. Usually at this level here, don't meddle yet. Don't use the hands and eyes. I just want you to practice for yourself, okay? When you're in danger or something, help yourself and so forth. But don't help others, not yet. You cannot handle the consequences yet of helping others because it carries a burden. There's always recoil. When you help others, there's a recoil, and you may not know how to handle the recoil, okay? Yeah. When you help someone, you have to take on the burden. That's why don't do that, not yet, okay? Until you're strong enough to take care of yourself, all right? Be careful. Thank you for pointing it out to me. Don't help others. In the case of people you want a harmony and so forth, just recite the Buddha's name, just recite. That's good enough, okay? Don't try to solve the problems for them, okay? Yeah. It's too soon for you to worry about that, okay? All right, that's it for today, huh? Okay, hey, Daniel still has a question? Come again? Oh, you don't have to take a sign off? Oh, okay. Take an eraser and just. Yeah, there you go. Huh? That works. Okay, don't worry about it. We'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.